We have officially joined the 30s club, and I am still very excited, maybe because it's still my birthday month. But to be alive, to have lived for 3 decades, honestly, it's amazing. I can hardly believe it myself because just yesterday I was just a little girl and now I'm a grown woman, very excited about life and everything that God has in store for me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Before I turned 30, I had my own fears because of what society says about aging. I think especially for women, there's a lot that comes with growing older, and a lot is said about women, and there are so many societal expectations for women. So that bit had me a bit scared, and I was genuinely asking myself, okay, I'm turning 30, I'm excited, but what do I have to show for it? Can you believe I was asking myself those questions while I hold a master's degree? I have moved away from home to start my life in a new country. Yet still, we have those moments where we just don't think that the things we've achieved are tangible enough. And so I had to stop myself and remind myself that just being alive is something worth celebrating. Many people would have wished to make it to 30, or would have wished for their family members, their loved ones, to make it to 30, but they didn't, and it's not because God doesn't love them or God didn't have a plan for them, but it's just important to always remind ourselves that life is a gift from God. To see each single day, each new week is a gift from God. So as we start this new chapter, I want to document more. I want to document my life more. I want to document my journey, my growth, my challenges. I was looking over some of my old YouTube videos and I had a good laugh because who was that girl? But the most interesting thing is that I used to show up without caring about what people would think, and I genuinely believed everything that I cared for and I talked about was very, very important. Maybe to me, maybe not to the whole world, but to me, those things were. And so in my 30s, I really want to challenge myself to document my life more, not just for myself. Maybe when we have children, I want them to come back to these videos and see how cool their mom is. And when I'm older myself, I want to watch these videos and believe that I lived the life that I always dreamt of. And this is a huge topic, especially in the world that we live in today. So a while back, I started challenging my own definition of success because I don't think success has one definition. I think success means different things to everyone. And so I had to define what success looks like for me. For some people, it might be owning a Ferrari and having all of the latest cars, being able to travel the world, or have a home, a house of their own, or maybe have children. For some people, it's, climbing up the corporate ladder, and everybody is entitled to have their own definition of success. So I too had to define what success is for me. And so in my 30s, I really want to focus more on the things that I believe have value and mean something to me, even if everybody else does not see it as important. As long as I think that it's important, I want to pursue it with everything within me. I also understand that I probably don't have so much freedom to take too many risks in my 30s. Although one thing that moving abroad has taught me is that there is no age when it comes to living. People write books at 40, people start new careers at 45. People are just always constantly moving. And so if you limit yourself and if you exclude yourself or remove yourself from the journey too early on, then you do yourself a lot of disservice because people are even going back to school in their 50s. And so just realizing how the difference in the concept of time when you live abroad and back home. For example, like back home, when a girl gets married, there's a lot of pressure to like, oh, when are you having babies and things like that. But in this country, people don't even ask such questions, because at the end of the day also, deciding to be a parent is a huge decision, and it requires a lot of financial commitment too. And it's not the same when you're raising your children abroad and when you're raising your children back home. For example, back home, you have a network of friends and family, that can help you, especially in the initial years of the child. We have many organizations or companies that will give you a maternity leave. Is that it? Yeah. But in a first world country, none of that is the same, because you often find that it's just you and maybe one family member. And so thinking about childcare is so expensive too, so you have to consider all those facts. And now I also understand why women delay having children, just so that they can prepare financially for it. And I've definitely learned to also be cautious when I have such conversations with my friends. Childbirth and childcare are sensitive topics, and I think they should also be approached with the sensitivity that I'm quickly learning also as a woman. Health, mental well-being, having a community that supports you, I think is just invaluable, especially in the times that we're living in today. And in my 20s, I don't really think I invested a lot in my health, especially when I was back home, because we were just living, But now when you move abroad, everything just changes. Even if you didn't want to change, you'll find yourself changing. And now I'm more cautious about my health. I try to go to the gym 4 days in a week. It's not even a luxury anymore. I feel like it's necessary for me to take care of my body now, so that in the years to come, or when I enter my 40s, I'm thinking too far ahead, but when I enter my 40s and my 50s, I still want my body to be able to do a lot of things. And I realize that it's an investment. The other thing that I have been learning also is the power of compounding, even when it comes to habits. Someone was saying that your bad habits compound over time, and your good habits also compound over time. And it can be scary and exciting at the same time, because as you get older, it gets harder to change habits or to form new ones. It will actually require you to be very honest with yourself to be able to change some of your bad habits, because you have to audit your own life. It's tough, it's uncomfortable, but I think it's very necessary, because at the end of the day, when you go to sleep and when you wake up, only you truly knows how you feel about your life. One thing I've constantly told myself is that if I don't like anything in my life, I have the power to change it. It could be through a habit, it could be through cutting off certain connections, it could be through changing certain things in my daily routine. And so I don't like to go through life as a victim of circumstances. I like to think that God has given us a lot of power through the choices that we make. That's all I had time for today. I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know some of your thoughts in the comment section. Bye.